Hello guys and welcome to my gear guide video in which we will talk about some of the best weapons and auxiliary for your ships. There are a few important things to know. Some ships have skills which require a specific gear. When you upgrade your equipment over 10, the weapon efficiency will increase between 4 and 18% depending on the rarity. And if you have better alternatives to the ones shown, write down in the comments. The 152mm B35 Mark V is a pretty fast and good damaging gun, and its only drawback is that it's an event only. It's overall a best choice. Prototype 11152 DP Mark 17 is almost on par with the first gun, but it's a bit slower and does a little bit less damage. It can be obtained from series to research. The prototype 155mm is the second highest raw DPS gold gun. It's craftable in the gear lab from the next gun, which is its little brother, the 155mm. It's still a good choice as it's easier to obtain than its bigger brother, and you can get yours from 6.2, 8.3, 13.1 or Sakura tier 4 and 5 tech boxes. And finally, the prototype 152 Mark 25. It's the fastest rate of fire gold seal gun with lower damage than the others that I have shown. I personally use it as a secondary for battleships rather than for my light cruisers, as it's just a better option for that. It's a Series 1 research and gear lab gun. The twin 120mm Mark 11 is quite fast and has good damage. It has the highest damage against light armored enemies, so it's best used on stages which have a lot of them, or also for farming. It can be made in the gear lab. Twin 128mm SK C41 has mid penetration on light, medium and heavy, so it's good against mixed enemies but not good for a specific type. It's not as good as the first weapon, but still is a good choice. It can be crafted in the gear lab as well. The single 138 MLE 1929 is a good gun overall. It shoots fast and has great damage, but it's an event only item and I would recommend to use it on DDs instead. Unless you have a lot more, then you can use it on this as well. The twin 127mm Mark 12 is one of the most popular guns to use on ships. It's a really good option with its nice damage and short rate of fire. It's a good choice which I use on some of my ships as main or secondary. It's also really easy to obtain as you can get it on 5.1, 8.1, 10.3, 11.1 and tier 4 or 5 Ego tech boxes. Twin 100mm Type 98 is the fastest shooting gold DD gun, and it's a good choice with almost the same damage as the previous gun. It's good for ships which need to shoot fast. It's obtainable from 9.4, 12.4, 14.3 and tier 4 or 5 Sakura tech boxes. The 533mm quintuple is the hardest hitting homing torpedo. It takes a long time to fire, and it can be gotten from the shimmering blue event and craftable in a gear lab. It's overall a really hard hitting, but also a really expensive torpedo. The 610mm quintuple is the hardest hitting non-homing torpedo. It's an event only equipment, like the other one, and they both would be better used on ships with high torp stats, or DDs. This one is an event only and is not craftable. The 533mm quadruple is still a hard hitting magnetic torp. It's faster than the rainbow version, but it has a bit less torps, so it's still a really good choice till you can get the better one, or just use this one since it's still a good choice. It can be gotten from tier 4 and tier 5 Ironblood tech boxes, events, or crafted in the gear lab. The 533 quintuple Mark 17 is a good non-homing torpedo, with a not bad reload time. It doesn't exceed in anything, but overall it's a good option to use. It can be obtained from the gear lab or the mystery investigation event. The normal 533mm quintuple is basically like the Mark 17. They have almost the same damage and reload, and the only difference is that this one can be farmed from 7.4 or gotten from tier 5 or 4 tech boxes that aren't Ironblood. It can also be gotten through research, so it's overall a really good choice when you have it, just because it's easy to get. The sextuple 40mm Bofors is the hardest hitting anti-air gun in the game. It has amazing damage and a not bad rate of fire, so it's a great choice. I would recommend to use it on Sandy retrofit first. Unless you have a lot of them, then it can be used on any of the other ones. It can be obtained through Series 3 research. The twin 113mm AA gun is the third highest damaging gun, which is overall a great choice for your ships. I use it a lot since it's also easy to obtain. You can get it from S72, 11.4, 4 Tier 4 or 5 Royal Tech boxes and research. It is also one of the most popular AA guns and it's overall a solid choice. Quadruple 40mm Bofors has a bit less damage than the 113, but it shoots faster by it, so they're pretty much almost equal. But it does have a smaller range than it. You can get it from 5.4, 11.3, 14.1 and Tier 4 or 5 Eco Tech boxes, and also research. The triple 25mm AA gun is the fastest shooting gold AA in the game. It doesn't have much damage, but it makes up with its fire rate. There isn't really a reason to use this over the better ones that I have mentioned before, but it's a good choice if you really want your AAs to shoot fast. It can be gotten from the Gear Lab. The twin 40mm Bofors is the second fastest gold AA gun in the game. It's just like the 25, it's fast with low damage, and both are pretty much only useful for min-max AA stat. This one can be obtained from Series 2 research. The high performance hydraulic increases evasion and HP of the ship and has a 30% chance to evade attacks for 2 seconds every 20 seconds. It can be gotten in research from any series. The repair toolkit can be used to increase the survivability of your light cruisers, and it's overall a good choice for most of the ships in the game. You can get yours from 3.4, 10.3, 14.1 or any tier 3 or 4 tech box. The Fulmo 25 is good for increasing accuracy and firepower of your cruisers. You can buy it in the exchange shop. I don't really see many people using it, but it's still good to increase those stats. And last, the anti-torpedo bulge is a good choice to counter damage from torpedoes, and it increases your HP as well. It can be gotten from 4.1, 7.4, 10.2, 14.2 and any tier 3 or 4 tech box. And I have shown this to be a good choice for your heavy cruiser, but it can also help you with your light cruiser. A special addition would be the hydraulic steering gear and the naval camouflage. They both increase health and evasion of your ships, and they're quite easy to get. They are actually only in blue, but are still a good choice.